Hello and welcome to Beyond Serenity. The Divine Counterpart's journey is by far the most confusing experience most Divine Feminines will ever encounter in this lifetime. For anyone who's truly on this path, there'll be many times where you'll be filled with immense amounts of doubt and disbelief, as this journey transcends all logic and reasoning. Upon your encounter with your Divine Masculine, the activations you experienced, particularly from his eyes and voice, have awoken within you an undeniable, unexplainable sensation which simply cannot be put into words. The deep level of connection you feel is bewildering and something completely out of this world. The illogical nature of this connection is highlighted by the intense feelings of doubt surrounding your Divine Masculine, as well as periods of feeling like you might be going crazy. As we travel this journey, we're guided into connections with other Divine Feminines, and we soon discover that the characteristics and commonalities shared between sets of Divine counterparts are undeniable and unmistakable, leading us to realize that there is something far bigger at play here. This is a deeply mystical unfolding and of a completely different nature than any other relationship you have ever had. And it goes far beyond the existence of another physical body which you met in this lifetime. Unlike with a soulmate or other type of karmic relationship, as persistent as you are, and as hard as you try to shift your focus and move on, this is not a connection you can break free from. This unexplainable experience does not make sense to your own logical mind, and it simply cannot be comprehended or explained by anyone who's not on this journey. Your own attempts to understand what is going on fills you with much overanalyzing, questioning, and doubt regarding whether or not you are in fact on this path. And ironically, the doubt that fills your mind about your Divine Masculine is actually one of the biggest features to this journey. To add to your confusion, despite the intense pull you now feel towards your Divine Masculine, at the very early stages, many Divine Feminines actually initially felt some level of disinterest towards their Divine Masculine. Prior to soul recognition, where your mind's logic and reasoning were more heavily dominating, it's not uncommon to have found yourself at some point residing in a state of either detachment or avoidance of your Divine Masculine in physical form. When looking from the viewpoint of the 3D world, within the Divine Counterpart's dynamic, there are most often many logical reasons to walk away from this connection. The specific scenarios differ for each of us. However, a common theme running through the Divine Counterpart's journey is some strong reason not to pursue this connection. It may be an extensive geographical distance between you, a large age gap, involvement in other relationships, strong cultural differences, or it may simply be that your Divine Masculine presents with characteristics and behaviors which you deem as undesirable, and if you were to have observed these in any other person, would have immediately sent you running in the opposite direction. Yet despite any situation, and despite all the logic and reasoning, if you are on this journey, you will have discovered there is simply no walking away from this connection, and there is no denying that there is something much bigger at play here. There will be many times where you do try to disconnect, where you find yourself in a battle with your mind, desperately trying to break free. You can try absolutely everything to talk yourself out of the feelings towards your divine counterpart. You can write lists of all the reasons why you should not be together and all the qualities you should dislike about this person. You can cut all avenues of physical contact. You can try to numb with other habits, such as drinking and socializing. You can employ cord-cutting technique after technique. And you can try to move on with a different relationship. Yet with every subsequent potential relationship, you find yourself trying to talk yourself into feelings for them. While with your divine counterpart, you simply cannot talk yourself out of the feelings. And every attempt to detach from this connection proves to be futile. No matter how hard you try, like an ever-present haunting, at some level, your divine counterpart is always in your head, and they are not leaving. This is an experience that transcends anything you have ever felt in this lifetime. And the more you let go, the deeper the connection seems to get. There comes a point where you hit a stage of resigning to the fact that there is simply no getting off of this journey. Your mind and ego can fight long and hard, but at a soul level, there is no denying this feeling deep within your core. Although there is often much confusion, if you are truly on this journey, you'll eventually come to embody the knowingness that this is not a soulmate relationship. This is not a trauma bond. This is not an unrequited crush. And this is not limerence. On a surface level, this connection may appear to have similarities and may at times be mistaken for any of these things, particularly when subjected to the judgments and opinions of others who are not themselves on this journey. The divine counterpart's connection is something out of this world, and it simply cannot be comprehended by those who are not on this path. Earlier on in this journey, it can be triggering to hear, but what is unfolding is far bigger than simply a relationship with another physical person in this lifetime. This is at its core a journey of ascension and a journey of coming home into wholeness and oneness of self. You are being invited to shift from a logical, mind-based way of living into a higher vibrational life which is in full alignment with your soul's core essence. The shifts you're making are monumental and completely beyond the logical comprehension which you have gained through the paradigms of this 3D world in which we've been raised. With this ascension process, an unmistakable component that runs through the journey of all divine counterparts is the intense awakening experience that pushes you to the brink of your breaking point. You are catapulted into dark night of the soul and ego death, where you watch helpless as multiple aspects of your life seem to fall apart around you, including family, friends, finances, living situation, and health. You find yourself immersed in painful periods of solitude and isolation, and you are pushed through grueling, repeating cycles of intense triggers and emotional oscillations as you watch helplessly as your life seems to crumble around you. Adding to all the drastic and completely life-altering changes are the strange episodes of intense physical pain. As the strong energies of this awakening move through your body, the pain experienced in your heart and solar plexus are unmistakable and can hit some divine feminines with enough intensity to lead you to seek out medical attention, only to be told there is nothing physically wrong, leaving you again in a state of bewilderment. To assist us as we move along this confusing path, signs and synchronicities come in as a major feature on this journey. Repeating numbers and specific number sequences showing up anywhere and everywhere. Synchronistic event after event, far beyond logical explanation, presented over and again until they can no longer be ignored. At first, these signs and synchronicities are written off as coincidence, your imagination, or wishful thinking. However, as you progress, they become absolutely undeniable, screaming at you for your attention until you take notice. These signs and synchronicities have come in to act as a guide and to serve as a bridge to assist you with this transition between operating purely from the physical world into operating within the unseen worlds. You are being moved through a shift from a mind-based way of living into a soul-based life where you're learning to use your intuition, being guided by your higher self to follow your third eye, rather than living based on what you see in the 3D with your physical eyes. As you make this transformational shift, you'll discover surprising, ever-increasing psychic abilities emerging. And as you lean into the allowance of these new communications, your connection with the unseen worlds begins to take on a whole new life of its own. As you move through this process, transcending all of the logic and reasoning you've been living from up until this point, it is inevitable that there will be periods where your mind is filled with doubt. There will be much questioning and confusion. However, as you'll discover, you'll be pulled back again and again to the truth of this journey. As you let go of the fear and the doubt, and you surrender to your deep knowingness within, you'll allow the true magic of this deeply mystical journey to unfold. You'll discover the beautiful gifts being awakened through this divine counterpart's experience, and you will be amazed by how your life transforms. Until next time, with unconditional love.